What if I told you the most dangerous bear on Earth isn't the grizzly growling in the woods or the black bear snooping through your trash, but a snow-white predator that can swim for days, stalk humans like a lion, and crack thick ice with one powerful swipe? Hi there, I'm a wildlife biologist, and today we're heading north. Way north, into the frozen kingdom of the polar bear. These aren't cuddly mascots or Christmas card characters. They're heavyweight hunters armed with bone-crushing jaws, stealth like a ninja, and the stamina of a marathon runner in a parka. Imagine a creature so specialized for survival that it eats nothing but meat year-round, battles Arctic blizzards, and still has enough energy left to chase down a seal or even take on another bear. Why would an animal evolve to be that tough? And how close is too close when a polar bear starts tracking you across the ice? Let's dive into what makes this frosty beast the most dangerous bear alive. You're going to want to hear this. Now let's talk about what really sets polar bears apart from their furry cousins around the world. You know how most bears spend their time munching on berries, roots, honey, or even bamboo? Not this guy. The polar bear is the only bear on the planet that lives on an all-meat diet. No salads, no fruit bowls, just pure protein, 365 days a year. It's like the polar bear looked at the food pyramid and said, "Nah, I'll stick to steak." Their favorite dish: seals. Big, fat, blubbery seals. Polar bears will wait silently by breathing holes in the ice for hours, just for the chance to launch up and snag one like a furry torpedo. And when seals are off the menu, they'll move on to other Arctic entrees, like reindeer, birds, small whales, or even another bear. Yes, you heard that right. These guys have been known to eat their own kind. It's savage, but in the wild, survival doesn't come with a rulebook. And here's the wildest part. Polar bears don't just stumble upon their meals. They hunt, as in, stalk, follow, and wait for the perfect moment to strike. That even includes humans. Unlike most wild animals that run the other way when they smell a person, a polar bear might follow your trail, watch your movements, and wait patiently like a lion on the savannah. So here's a question for you. If a predator the size of a car can quietly track you across miles of ice and snow, how would you even know it's there? That's not just impressive, that's chilling. And it's one of the many reasons why polar bears aren't just tough, they're top-tier predators in a frozen world where only the fiercest survive. Alright, let's talk size. You think grizzly bears are big, you think lions are strong. Wait until you meet the heavyweight champion of the Arctic, the polar bear. These guys aren't just big, they're colossal. A full-grown male can weigh up to 1,700 pounds. That's about the same as a fully loaded Harley-Davidson with a passenger on the back. And height. When a polar bear stands up on its hind legs, which it can do when sizing up a threat or just showing off, it can reach nearly 12 feet tall. That's taller than most ceilings in your house. Imagine opening your front door and seeing a giant wall of fur looking down at you. Would you freeze or run? But here's what really makes them jaw-dropping. It's not just their size, it's the power that comes with it. These bears can lift objects weighing almost 1,000 pounds. Think about that for a second. That's like deadlifting a grand piano or flipping a small car over with one paw swipe. And yes, they've been seen smashing thick ice just to catch a seal hiding underneath. No sledgehammer needed, just raw muscle and determination. They can tackle prey their own size, or even bigger. Reindeer, beluga whales, even other polar bears are fair game. If it moves and has meat, the polar bear has the tools to take it down. So here's the question. In a frozen land where everything is tough just to survive, what does it take to be the top predator? Is it brains? Is it brawn? Or is it a terrifyingly perfect mix of both? When you're that big, that strong, and that hungry, the Arctic isn't a winter wonderland, it's your personal hunting ground. Now, if you thought polar bears were just big and slow snowballs waddling around on the ice, think again. These beasts are shockingly athletic. I mean, imagine a creature that's the size of an SUV, yet can take off like a linebacker chasing down a quarterback. A polar bear can hit speeds up to 25 miles per hour on land. That's faster than most humans sprint at their peak, and the bear's running on snow and ice. Can you do that without slipping? And it gets better. Not only are they fast, they're also built for distance, and not just on land. Polar bears are world-class swimmers. They've been recorded swimming for days, literally covering over 60 miles in a single stretch through icy Arctic waters. No wetsuit, no rest breaks, just pure endurance. Think about that the next time you get tired swimming across a hotel pool. What's really wild is that they do all of this year-round. While other bears like grizzlies and black bears are snoozing through winter, polar bears are out there hunting, swimming, and surviving. The only ones who take a break are pregnant females, and even they have to dig their own snow dens before catching some shut-eye. No cave provided, thank you very much. So ask yourself this: how does a 1,500-pound predator maintain Olympic-level stamina in sub-zero temperatures with no off-season? What kind of animal not only survives in one of the harshest environments on Earth but thrives there? This is what makes the polar bear more than just a big carnivore. It's a living, breathing Arctic powerhouse. Think snowstorms, blizzards, freezing oceans, and then picture a predator who calls all that home and dominates it like it's nothing. That's not just impressive, that's next-level survival. Let me ask you something. If you were designing the ultimate predator for the frozen north, what kind of weapons would you give it? Razor-sharp claws? Check. Bone-crushing jaws? Double check. Now add some saber-tooth-level fangs and a bite that could snap a bowling ball in half. Sound like a fantasy monster? No. That's just your friendly neighborhood polar bear. Polar bears have the most powerful bite force of any bear on Earth. We're talking about 1,200 pounds per square inch. That's enough to crunch through thick seal blubber, heavy bones, and even the ice they sometimes have to dig through to reach their prey. For context, that's nearly twice the bite strength of a lion. And unlike lions, polar bears don't hunt in groups. They go solo. Just one bear, one bite, no backup needed. And those teeth, we're not talking about the cute little chompers you see on teddy bears. Their canines can be up to 3 inches long, about the length of a car key, but a whole lot deadlier. They use them to pierce, slice, and tear through some of the toughest meat in the animal kingdom. You wouldn't want to be a seal caught on the wrong end of that dental work. Let's not forget the claws. Polar bear paws are like dinner plates, with 5 curved daggers attached. These claws are not only perfect for gaining traction on ice but also work like built-in weapons. Sharp, thick, and incredibly strong, a single swipe can leave deep wounds or take down large prey in seconds. I once saw footage of a polar bear knocking the head off a seal with a single blow. No Hollywood editing needed. So why does a polar bear need such intense weaponry? Is it just to look cool? Or is there something about its frozen world that demands this level of ferocity? Stick around, because we're about to dive into how these icy assassins use brains and brawn to become some of the most feared hunters on the planet. Let me ask you this: what's scarier than an 800-kilogram bear with bone-crushing jaws and claws like knives? Try one that can outthink you. Yep, the polar bear isn't just muscle. It's a calculating, patient, and tactical predator with some seriously impressive brain power. You might think animals in harsh environments are just surviving on instinct, but polar bears, they're playing Arctic chess while everyone else is stuck on checkers. These big white beasts know how to use their environment like a pro. Their snow-white fur doesn't just look cool, it is cool, as in built-in camouflage. They blend into the frozen landscape so perfectly that seals often don't notice them until it's way too late. And here's the clever part: polar bears actually understand the wind. They sniff the breeze, figure out which direction their scent is traveling, and then circle around to stay upwind of their target. That's right, they sneak up on prey with the finesse of a Navy SEAL. They also know when to strike. I've seen footage of polar bears waiting motionless at a breathing hole for over an hour, just for the chance a seal might surface. No pacing, no twitching, just pure focus. It's like a snowy version of a sniper stackout. And when the moment comes, they explode into action with perfect timing and terrifying accuracy. But wait, it gets even more impressive. Polar bears are known to observe their prey for patterns. They watch where seals haul out, notice when birds nest, even remember where they last had a successful hunt. That's more than instinct, that's learning, that's strategy, that's what makes them apex predators. So next time you think of polar bears as just giant snowballs with teeth, remember this: they're not just powerful, they're problem solvers. Adaptable, focused, and eerily good at planning ambushes. Makes you wonder, doesn't it? How much does intelligence matter in the wild? And what happens when raw power meets tactical genius? Stay tuned, because the story of the world's most dangerous bear is just getting started. So, what's the bottom line on polar bears? Well, these giants aren't just the biggest and baddest bears on the planet, they are the ultimate Arctic hunters. Imagine a creature that combines sheer size, raw power, relentless stamina, fearless attitude, and a brain sharp enough to outsmart its prey time and again. That's the polar bear for you. It's like nature's perfect storm, a combination of muscle, endurance, killer instinct, and smarts that turns this bear into a living, breathing force of nature. If you think about it, the polar bear is basically the heavyweight champion of the wild, with a PhD in survival strategy. And here's a question for you. What other animal out there can match that kind of package? Not many. It's this unique blend of physical prowess and cleverness that makes the polar bear the undisputed king of the Arctic and arguably the most dangerous bear on Earth. So next time you see a picture of a polar bear, remember, you're looking at much more than just a big white fluff ball. You're staring down a master hunter, a survivor built for one of the toughest environments on the planet. And honestly, I find that both terrifying and fascinating. What about you? Let's dive into the fascinating world of polar bear reproduction, because even the toughest Arctic predator has a soft side and a super smart strategy when it comes to making babies. Have you ever wondered how a giant, powerful polar bear manages to bring new life into one of the harshest places on Earth? First off, female polar bears are absolute pros at timing. They usually mate in the spring, but here's the cool part. The fertilized egg doesn't implant right away. Instead, it waits inside her body until she's fat enough and strong enough to support pregnancy. This clever trick is called delayed implantation. It's like nature's way of saying, let's make sure mom is ready before we start the baby countdown. Then, as winter rolls in and the ice freezes solid, pregnant females retreat to cozy dens dug into snowbanks or earth, where they give birth in total isolation. Inside these chilly but snug dens, tiny cubs are born, usually twins weighing less than 1 pound each, roughly the size of a loaf of bread, which is wild when you consider how huge their parents are. These cubs are completely helpless at birth, blind, deaf, and covered in soft white fur, but mom is a fierce protector and nurse. She keeps them warm, feeds them rich milk, and teaches them how to survive in this icy wilderness. It's a tough lesson, because polar bear cubs have to grow fast to keep up with their mom's demanding Arctic lifestyle. Here's something to think about. How many animals out there have a reproductive strategy that's this perfectly tuned to the brutal environment they live in? The polar bear's reproductive dance is just another reason why these animals are not only survivors but absolute Arctic champions. So, next time you think of a polar bear, remember they are not only incredible hunters but also dedicated parents with some of the coolest survival tricks in the animal kingdom. What's your favorite animal parenting story? I bet the polar bears got you beat. Hey there, Arctic explorers. If you loved learning about the mighty polar bear and want to discover more amazing wildlife secrets, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and ring the bell so you never miss an adventure. And I want to hear from you. What's the coolest animal fact you've ever heard, or your favorite wild creature? Drop your thoughts in the comments below and let's start a wild conversation. Come join our pack and let's explore the wild side of nature together.